Hello and welcome to another quick tip video. This is Dan from EDM Academy, and in this video I'm going to show you a way to use audio effect racks to process things in parallel. Typically, an effect is applied to 100% of a track's signal. Some effects have a dry-wet knob allowing you to tune this percentage, but many effects like compressors and EQs tend to lack this feature. With parallel processing, you can combine the dry, unaffected audio with the wet, affected audio with ease, and you'll get more control over the blend than with a simple dry-wet knob. Okay, let's get started. First, let's set up our audio effect rack. You can drag one down from the browser on the left, but it's faster to insert the effect we want to use, select it, and press Ctrl, Command, and G. Now the effect rack pops up with the selected effect inside of it. Next, we want to select the chain and press Ctrl, Command, and D to duplicate it. Name one of the chains dry, and then name the remaining chain whatever effect is in use. Since I'm going over reverb first, I'll name it reverb. Lastly, delete the reverb effect from the dry chain. Okay, now your rack is all set up. A typical problem with applying reverb to a track is that you'll lose volume from the instrument as you turn up the wet-dry knob, and it becomes harder to judge how much reverb that particular instrument needs. When you use reverb in parallel, the amount of reverb you apply adds to the signal instead of subtracting from it, making it much easier to get the balance right. In the reverb chain, bring the dry-wet all the way to 100%, since it wouldn't make sense to have any dry signal in this additional chain. Now, to control the amount of reverb your signal gets, use the chain volume in the rack. To audition the changes you've made, simply turn the reverb chain on and off while listening to the track. This technique is also commonly used to apply parallel compression to things. With a compressor in parallel, you can push it much harder than if it were inserted over the entire signal. This allows you to combine the consistent volume of extreme compression with the dynamics of the dry signal. Let's right-click and create another chain. Next, we'll drag a compressor into it. Set the threshold way down to get as much as 10 to 30 decibels of gain reduction. Next, set the attack and release to fast values, and turn the compressor on RMS mode. Now, turn the volume of the chain all the way down and slowly bring it up to blend in the compressed signal. Once you start to notice the extreme pumping of the audio volume, stop and bring the volume back down a bit. Now you have a healthy blend between the two signals. From here, you can tweak the compressor to taste, and then you're done. It's important to note that with this configuration, only the dry signal is being fed into the reverb. If you want to use parallel compression and have the compressed signal also feed into the reverb, you'll need to create another audio effect rack before this one, and put the compressor chain on there instead. Remember to create a dry chain for this rack as well. Okay, that does it for this quick tip. For more quick tips and video tutorials, check out edmacademy.net.